thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Bob Randall. I'm the Deputy Director at the Colorado Department of Natural Resources, and I really am privileged to welcome you all here today. I'm here representing my boss, the Executive Director of DNR, Mike King, as well as Governor Hickenlooper, and I want to convey both of their admiration and thanks to you all for your vision and hard work on this subject. So again, it really is a privilege to be here. Colorado has a proud history of innovation and a longstanding ethic of sustainability, and I think you all are here as a testament to that and a part of the successes that are yet to come. Now, I think it's safe to say we're all glad that election season's over, but we can all reflect proudly on an election 8 years ago in 2004 when Colorado became the first state in the country for the voters to approve a renewable energy standard. A lot's happened in the intervening years, and I'm here to talk about some of that. And today I welcome all of you here to have a dynamic conversation on what our energy future holds. So this administration is excited about what's happening in clean energy, from natural gas to wind and to solar and to other innovations. We've focused at DNR on the safe and sensitive recovery of natural gas as an important source of cleaner, homegrown, and more climate-friendly energy. The governor wants to see compressed natural gas fueling more fleet vehicles, including state-owned cars and trucks. This administration also strongly supports congressional renewal of the production tax credit for wind. It's the same bipartisan position as our congressional delegation. Wind is the second largest energy resource being developed in the US right now. It works exceptionally well on the power grid, especially in partnership with natural gas, a resource that can be efficiently cycled on and off according to electricity demands. Colorado has the second highest renewable energy standard in the country, and we're proud that Xcel is meeting that RES ahead of schedule. The governor was thrilled to participate in the opening of another Colorado wind farm in Lyman just a couple of weeks ago. At that event, he noted that Xcel didn't need the wind power from that facility to meet its RES. Instead, it was purchasing the power because the math worked. Wind is cost competitive today. One early morning in April, 57% of the power being used by Xcel customers was coming from wind. And with a little additional investment, Colorado can and will lead the wind energy revolution. At my department, the Department of Natural Resources, we have a good story to tell too, about where we've been and where we're going. Beginning in 2007, major legislation created more balanced oversight of oil and gas development in Colorado. Two pieces of legislation led to greater consideration of protection of the environment and our wildlife resources. It also remade the Oil and Gas Conservation Commission itself to reflect the broad interests represented in Colorado. Those bills led to an 18-month process of sweeping new regulations that remain a national model for environmental and community protection. These new rules increased public involvement in the permitting process for oil and gas wells and landscape-scale planning to benefit wildlife and communities. They addressed waste management and protection of our water resources, both groundwater and surface water. In short, they really modernized the state's regulation of oil and gas development and brought it into the 21st century, and we're proud of that. Strengthening our regulation of oil and gas drilling led the way to another major success. We put our shoulders to legislation, House Bill 1365, that converts front-range power supplies from coal to natural gas and makes for dramatic air quality improvements for millions of Coloradans. That legislation was the Clean Air, Clean Jobs Act. Shifting much of our baseload energy supplies to gas wouldn't have been possible. It wouldn't have been acceptable without the efforts to strengthen the state's oversight of oil and gas drilling. And we didn't stop there. We've taken more steps in the last year. Last December, we developed a rule for disclosure of chemicals used in hydraulic fracturing that's among the nation's toughest. It's championed by both industry and conservationists, another sign that Colorado is a state that values collaboration over conflict. We brought disparate interests together last spring on a task force to map out how state regulators and local governments could cooperate and communicate more fully to ensure that local governments' concerns are addressed in state permitting processes. That effort, the task force effort, is already paying dividends as communities are working more directly with operators to ensure that agreements are reached for the benefit of all the parties. We continue to move forward as well. This month, we're embarking on rulemaking hearings to consider improved regulations for managing the distance between oil and gas drilling and homes and communities. We're also developing a statewide rule for groundwater sampling and monitoring near oil and gas drilling sites. We're doing that for two reasons. One, to ensure that any possible impact to groundwater supplies are caught and caught early. and also to just provide additional assurance that our rules successfully protect our precious water supplies. Our colleagues at the Health Department, some of whom are here, are adopting more stringent standards to limit fugitive emissions from oil and gas sites. This work expands on a decade of already successful effort by the oil and gas industry to drive down these emissions. They don't want their product going into the air any more than we do. We're also exploring ways to conduct additional studies on the Front Range that will better quantify how emissions from oil and gas sites might impact air quality. And later this year, actually later in 2013, we'll be reviewing our already stringent rules on wellbore integrity to see if there are additional opportunities to ensure that there's isolation between downhole between energy wells and groundwater. I'm here today, and the reason I've gone through all of this is I want people to understand all the progress that we've made in Colorado over the last 5 years to ensure that this kind of energy development is conducted safely and responsibly. Colorado's contribution has helped make the United States a global leader in natural gas production. That, in turn, has had dramatic environmental benefits. Carbon emissions from the energy sector now are at a 20-year low. That's in absolute terms and not per capita. And that matters because the country's achieved that reduction while adding more than 50 million people to the US population. The Energy Information Administration, a federal agency, mainly attributes this carbon reduction nationwide to a switch to natural gas in generating electricity. A UC San Diego professor recently calculated that the carbon reductions resulting from moving to natural gas and generating electricity has had twice the total effect of the Kyoto Protocol among its signatories combined. That's the right direction for Colorado, and it's the right direction for the country. We're going to continue to champion safe development of natural gas. We're going to help build markets for this gas by encouraging its use in heavy-duty trucks and public and private fleet vehicles. We're marrying it with our wind energy to provide flexibility and diversity on the grid. In short, we're championing clean energy. We're championing affordable energy. We're championing homegrown energy to keep the jobs here in Colorado, and we're championing energy that is easier on the climate. So this gives you an idea of some of what we're thinking, and we're here because we want to hear what you all are thinking. I hope you enjoy the roundtable this morning, and thanks again for the opportunity to provide this welcome.